Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Good morning, Patriots of America. It is a hot and muggy and sometimes rainy Independence Day here in St. Louis, Missouri. And we've got my beautiful Sportster S and some bags with about 1,000 miles on them. Okay, that's embellishing. It's more like 500 miles. Let's take a look at what makes these things so special and talk about the pros and cons. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what makes these guys so special. Well, first of all, if you're new to the scene for the Sportster S, this is the first set of bag guard supports, period, for the Sportster S. So this is a pretty new territory that Kemimoto is getting into, but you know, a little bit of a spoiler, they're doing a pretty good job so far. So I've got the Amazon listing pulled up here and I'll put it on screen. This is listed as Kemimoto Motorcycle Saddlebag Guard Support Kit, Saddlebags Bracket Mount Kit compatible with RH1250 Sportster S, 1250 RH1250, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. So, it is compatible with the Sportster S, and that's about as far as they go, because this is a pretty special platform for them. So they are extremely rigid. I haven't had any flexing or rubbing that I've noticed, and man, they're honestly pretty sweet. They're advertised to hold 10 kilograms or whatever the Freedom Unit equivalent is. Now, I don't think I've gone anywhere near that limit just because of the choice of bags that I had mistakenly gone with. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of these particular bags, but we'll get into that here shortly. Easy to install is one of the points here, but I can definitely testify to that. So let's take a closer look. I'll get you a closer view on what's happening here, and we'll tackle that. All right, guys, so here's a little bit of a closer look at the brackets themselves. So the bracket actually has two mounting points to keep it, you know, sturdy. So under here, we have the mounting point that we used for the Kemimoto taillight, which makes sense. They're intercompatible, but we go through the same mounting holes for the both of them for the vertical mount. There's also a horizontal mount right in here that you actually have to take this rear fairing plastic piece off on both sides. It's really sturdy for two mounting holes. I wouldn't load this thing with, you know, 20 pounds, but on each side, especially because it's already a light bike, and why would you be doing a cross country on a Sportster? That's probably not a good idea. At least I wouldn't do it. Maybe a different choice of bike that gets more than 100 miles of range would be a better choice if you're looking to go much bigger on the holding capacity. However, we're not quite there yet. We'll talk about the bags in a moment. So more so on the assembly of these brackets, you have two bolts here for the rest of the bracket assembly to keep the bag in place, of which we'll talk about the mounting choice that I've gone with here in a second. And it's exactly the same on the other side. And these Kemimoto brackets are great. They're fantastic quality, and to be completely honest, I would expect the same quality from Harley-Davidson themselves. Well, now that we made it past the star of the show, let's take a look at what's going on with these bags. So these, here's the Amazon listing. This is the Kemimoto motorcycle saddlebags, throw over saddlebag with lock, small size, 14-liter side bags. Advertised to work with Dyna, Road King, and that's about it. And these are synthetic leather as shown in the listing, but I mean, they're fine. They're 14 liters. I didn't have really a reference on what 14 liters looked like, so I was like, I don't know, it's a small bike, small bags, let's do that. I wish I would have gone with something a little bit bigger, just because they do not have a whole lot of capacity. I have an LTT water bottle, 40 ounce, and it barely fits in here, and it's taking up the entire bag diagonally, so there's nothing else going in that bag. So let's get a closer look at the bags themselves, and we'll tackle that guy next. I just don't like these bags because of the carrying capacity and the fact that the code to get into these bags is 00, and as far as I could tell from the instructions that came with it, there's no way to change that. So yeah, we're just kind of stuck with 00, I assume, for every bag that they sell. But hey, like I said, they leave a little bit to be desired. So I don't know if you can see this, but they have torn on this foamy plastic stuff. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you kind of can. They've torn here on both sides, and I believe, yeah, the bag on this side is starting to have the same tears occur on both of the side flaps. So they're fine. They leave a little bit to be desired. You know, I can keep my gloves, an extra pair of other more different gloves, and a microfiber cloth for when I inevitably get gas on my tank. And on the other side, I store my hat, I store my water bottle if it'll fit, and I also store a bungee cord for whenever these zip ties inevitably break. So this already happened once. I was wearing my jacket, my riding jacket, of course, and I wanted to put it in my bag. I felt that it was probably going to be a bad idea just because of how much bigger it looked to be and probably wouldn't fit in here, but I did shove it in there at the cost of the zip ties that were holding this bag on. So I did have to limp it holding the bag to the nearest gas station by, I guess, I had to buy a bungee cord because for some reason no store within a 10-mile radius carried zip ties. So I bought a bungee cord at a gas station, bungee corded it on, rode the interstate home. So it was fine. Was pretty inconvenient and looked a little goofy, but you know, it worked. It got me home, and I would not recommend using zip ties. If you have a better suggestion on how to do that, I would definitely leave it in the comments so nobody ends up in the world of hurt that I was. And on this side, it is more of the same, except you probably have a little bit of a glare on the lens, but yeah, that's what happens when I shoot towards the light. So again, like I said, this is starting to tear on the inside, and I keep my handy dandy bungee cord in here, adjustable at that. And yeah, that's really about it. Let's wrap this thing up. Well, everybody, those are the bags and bag brackets for the 2021 through 2023 Sportster S. Let me know what you guys think about these. Do they look goofy? Maybe. Would they look better with a different set of bags? Probably, in my opinion. Would you put these brackets on here to begin with? Does it ruin the look of the bike having bags? It doesn't make sense for somebody whose only bike is the Sportster S like me. I think so, but hey, I'm just one guy. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next time.